Okay, it's day, well, because I messed up all the days. We had the pre-lesson, whatever. It's day 4 and day 5 of Clutter Boot Camp. Hello, hello, hello. If you're joining me live, say hi in the comments, you guys. We're at the end. We're at the last lesson. It's not really the end. Because we are going to have a Q&A tomorrow, and then we have a transformation celebration, but this is the last official lesson of boot camp. Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hi, hi, hi. I'm going to wait for everyone to get on here. Hello from Florida. Yeah, let us know where you're joining us from. Let us know. Show us some fire emojis and a little love in the comments. You guys are doing such an incredible job. I just cannot believe it. I am blown away. I was just reading through everything and watching all the videos, the time-lapse videos, the from your heart comments videos. Man. Hello, hello, Indiana. Good morning. Good morning. Heather, you're finally seeing me live while I am live. Yay. Scranton. Hello from Chicagoland, New Jersey, South Florida, Ohio, Northern Kentucky, Illinois. You guys are all over the place. I love it. I love it. Okay. Wyoming. Yes. Yes. Hi. Hi. It has been such an incredible week, Amy. It's okay. So here's a little, I am nothing if not like honest and transparent. And I want you guys all to know that it would be nice to think that I have everything perfectly planned out all the time. But the truth is that it's a busy life, right? And I often leave things to the last minute because I work better under a little bit of pressure, right? Deadlines are great for me. I am a procrastinator, but like it works out really well. And I find that I can't force myself to do certain things unless I have the inspiration working and kind of like flowing through me. So here's my truth that I am sharing with you. I have this lesson that we have done on the last day of boot camp for the last year and a half, but I've wanted to change it a little bit. I've wanted to add a little bit to the end of it. And so I'm sitting here today because I have been thinking and trying to figure out the right slides to show at the end, right? So I'm like sitting here on my computer now, like time is marching on. It's almost time to deliver the lesson live. And I'm like, I just don't have the right slides. Like it's not the right slides. And then it occurred to me, this is not something that requires slides. This is something that requires just me talking to you. So I'm going to deliver the lesson and then I am going to turn off the slides. And the end of it, the part that I really want to add in is just going to be off the cusp because that's how this needs to kind of flow out from me to you. So that's a little heads up for this lesson. Okay, we still have people joining us. So before we dive into the lesson, thank you for reminding me that I did not announce a winner yesterday. So I want to go ahead and announce the winner from yesterday and today's winner. So these two winners are receiving a one-on-one hour-long coaching call with one of our coaches. So if I announce your name, please go ahead and message me after this so I can connect you with a coach. I'm going to try and figure out a coach that I think will be awesome for you. And the winner from yesterday was Allison Bowden. Al Bowden, I have just been loving your helpfulness in the group, loving your videos, loving your posts. You have been amazing in boot camp. And I know that you have been in other boot camps before and you're in Clutter Foundations. So I just wanted to say, it's been so awesome seeing you really helping people and doing just being in this group and being the supportive, amazing human that you are, posting those time-lapse videos yesterday. So when your name popped up on the top of the commenters from, the back end statistics that I run, I was actually like clapping and leaping. I do a lot of like very excited movements when nobody's watching me. So Al Bowden, you are our first winner today. And the second winner is Connie Ward. Connie, I believe that you are totally new to all of this. And I have also been loving reading your posts. So I was so happy when I saw your name up there also. So Connie Ward, Al Bowden, you guys are the winners of the one-on-one coaching session. So make sure that that you go ahead and message me after this. This is workbook lesson 5 or 4. So I kind of messed up the lesson numbering. Okay, so I'm going to make this better before I do a boot camp next time. So when I did this boot camp, I changed the format a little bit. I wanted to have one Zoom session, like a whole entire hour dedicated just to Q&A. So instead of doing the lessons Monday through Friday, I posted the first one on Sunday and called it the pre-lesson. But then that messed up all of my numbering for my lessons and made everyone super confused. So I apologize for that. This is the 5th lesson of the entire week and the last lesson. But it might say lesson number 4 because I called the first one a pre-lesson. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I will fix that before the next boot camp. But yeah, this is the last. So there's 5 lessons total, but the first one I was calling lesson 0 because it was like the pre-lesson not delivered live. I don't know. At the time, it seems like a good idea, but clearly I should not have done it that way. Okay. So I know, no, it's not you, Cheryl, it's me. This is right. I mean, like I said, I am nothing if not brutally honest. I am a professional organizer, but my idea of organization is that you have a house and life that is functional, right? It's not perfect. And this business grows like crazy, and there's a lot of stuff going on all the time. Okay, here's some more behind the scenes. And actually, this is relevant because you might hear some noise today. My house, we haven't had a kitchen since January. It's like mostly gutted, which has made for an interesting year with the kids being home like every other day and the house being gutted and having no kitchen. I call it an adventure, and that's what it is. It is an adventure. So things aren't perfect. I planned this boot camp kind of like on a whim because I was feeling, I do a lot based on how I feel, which maybe is not the like best way to do things, but I was feeling like the end of the year was coming. I was so inspired by all of the teachers that we have we have a lot of teachers. Teachers had the hardest year imaginable, and parents had a super hard year. I mean, everyone had a hard year. So I just kind of like, was almost on a whim. I was like, I'm doing this big boot camp. My business coach was like, you want to reach a lot of people, even though you said you'd never do another free boot camp, maybe you'll reconsider. And when she said it, I was also having these feelings about like, if all these teachers like made it happen for all these kids this year, like I can do a free boot camp. And that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So as I was pulling everything together, so doing the best that we can. It's not about perfection. Okay. Yes. Clover. Thank you. MP, thank you. Okay. Somebody posted the link to the workbook today. I'm going to dive into the lesson right now. As I said in the beginning, if you missed it, the lesson is, I've had this lesson for a long time, but I've wanted to add something to the end of it because there's like some topics that have been coming up across my groups since I've been doing this that are really important and relevant to this lesson. And I feel like I'm just going to deliver that content to you guys from me because no slide can do it justice. So I'll do the beginning of the lesson, then I'll be back here. All right. Let's see how I can add this in here. I have to do this. Whoops. I think I did this wrong last time too. Okay, share my screen. All right, can you guys just let me know if you can still hear me and see me? Just give me a thumbs up if I'm still talking. Can you still hear me? Hello. I know there's this little delay. Hello. Just let me, okay, awesome. So I am going to go Actually, does this work? Is this on your screen? Do you like this little picture over here? Or should I just do the full screen of the slides? What do we prefer? Because I kind of, oh, I can't forward the slides from here. Okay, forget it. We're just going to go back to the other one. All right. Back to this one. That one's in there. That one's in there. Okay. All right. I don't know. Can you still see me? All right. This is like new technology to me. I'm still learning a little bit. Oh, thank you. But the thing is, I don't think I can actually move the slides forward. But all right, well, we'll go back and forth. Seeing your clutter with new eyes. This is the most important lesson by far. It's lesson number 4 and 5, depending on what numbering system you're using. Doesn't really matter. But all right, here we go. My legal disclaimer. You guys have seen this. We don't need to spend time here. Straight talk about your home and your health. So I am not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. This is not medical advice. However, there is a lot of talk about medical conditions across all of my groups. And if you think that your home is negatively impacting your physical or emotional health, I do really recommend that you consult your doctor because there's a lot of ways that your home could be impacting your health. We're going to talk about that first because it's so important just to hear this information. Then we're going to dive into a little bit more of the bigger picture stuff. So when you have clutter in your house, there's a lot of different environmental allergens that may also be present. Dust, mold, and rodent droppings are all environmental contaminants and environmental concerns that we have to be aware of in our homes. So when there's dust, you might be sneezing. I think we kind of all know what happens when you're exposed to dust. It's important that when you start decluttering, you are prepared to deal with the environmental allergens that are going to come and kind of be released into the atmosphere in your house, into the environment in your house. So you may want to consider wearing a mask over your face, making sure you have adequate fresh air flowing in, so make sure the windows are open. So you can spray down the area with a damp cloth so that you don't mess, get the dust all worked up around you. So just really think about when you're going to be decluttering, how to keep it yourself very safe. Because really the dust, we hear this a lot, the decluttering process can make you feel sick. And this is one reason why. Mold is, and I'm just going to go back over here and make sure we're still, okay. Yes. Okay. Mold is a huge concern in your home, a huge concern. A lot of doctors, mold toxicity is a huge issue, and do I have actually a slide with that? I think I do. Oh yeah. Okay. So molds are very common in buildings and homes. They grow in places with a lot of moisture or with a little bit of moisture. And that's the key point to keep in mind. If you have leaks around your roof, your window, your pipes, or anywhere there has been flooding, it is highly likely that there will be mold growing there if it's not adequately cleaned and dried. Mold grows really well on paper products, cardboard, ceiling tiles, and wood products. It can also grow in dust, paint, wallpaper, insulation, drywall, carpet, fabric, and upholstery. That's from the CDC. Okay, so mold is a huge concern. And I have seen very, very dry rooms where there has been one little tiny bit of moisture and there is mold growing behind boxes that are in there. Why is mold such a big concern? Because mold toxicity is a really serious condition that's very difficult to diagnose and somewhat controversial in our medical community. So according to the Poison Control Center, there is considerable disagreement in the scientific community about whether adverse health effects are actually caused by indoor mold, though most seem to agree that spending time in a damp and moist environment can contribute to such respiratory illnesses such as allergies, asthma, cough, runny nose, and sinus conditions. But according to Psychology Today and according to my personal doctor, mold toxicity is a real concern. Toxic mold-based illness is very prevalent and underdiagnosed condition that can manifest in many different ways. So please pay close attention to this, including with symptoms that are exclusively psychiatric, such as depression, anxiety, attentional problems, brain fog, and insomnia. I cannot tell you guys how many people we have in our communities who talk about struggling with these psychiatric conditions that could possibly be caused by mold toxicity. And you may have no idea that there is any mold in your house. Vulnerability to mold toxicity is only present in 25% of the population, who in most cases have a genetic predisposition which inhibits their clearance of biotoxins. So family members could all be living together in the same household with mold growth, but it's possible that only one family member would be actually getting sick from the mold toxicity. Super, super, super important. I have seen mold in so many different homes. It's just when we have clutter in boxes, especially in basements and attics and garages, but it could be anywhere. It's that just that space between the box and the wall. It's like the perfect spot for mold to grow. So please keep this in mind. If you have been diagnosed or if you are suffering from some chronic illness and nobody can really give you a good diagnosis, please talk to your doctor about the possibility that get a test for mold toxicity. I mean, I think that it's a little complicated to actually get the test or the right series of tests. Find a doctor who understands this and will test you for it, because it's a really big deal. And it's just that there's so many people that talk about having these conditions. It's so worth me talking about in this slide. I'm just gonna go back and see if there's any comments right quick. There's an online free test for mold poisoning. I can find it and share. I did not know that. So that would be awesome. Yes, please, please, please find it and share. 100%. Let's see. I'm just looking through it. How do you find it if it's not visible? So Deborah, it is visible. Mold is visible. You'll see it, right? You just can't see it if there's clutter in the way. So when you pull boxes away from walls or carpets or floors, just really be scanning for any discoloration, because that could be mold. Let's see here. I also definitely recommend hiring a professional. If you find mold in your house, you want to hire a mold remediation company to come in and assess the situation at the very least, because mold can be very, very toxic. So mold, huge issue. Keep it in mind, because it can also just have psychiatric effects. It doesn't necessarily, like dust allergens make us sneeze, make us cough, give us the runny nose, all that. Mold, on the other hand, can cause all sorts of other stuff that doesn't look like allergies. So it can cause depression and all that. So it's just really, really important. Oh, this is funny. Mold is the unofficial state flower here in Florida. Yep. I mean, you live in a warm, humid environment, like that's what's happening. Okay, so other things to be concerned about in your house in terms of environmental allergens. Rodent droppings are, okay, so disease can be transmitted directly through rodent droppings or indirectly through ticks. So when you have rodents in your house, if you live in an area that also has ticks, ticks actually come into your house through rodents. I had no idea about this until I started researching it. But this is another thing really to just know about, just have it in the back of your mind as you're cleaning. If you have rodent droppings, you're going to want to make sure that you spray them with like bleach or something that will kill germs before you wipe them up. Do not vacuum them up, because then the diseases can become airborne. So just, another little side note to keep in mind, if you have rodent droppings in your house, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you're dirty or, any of that stuff. Rodents come in everywhere. I've actually never worked in a house where there were not rodent droppings. So including my own, I live in the country. We get mice in here all the time. So it is what it is. And just staying on top of it is the most important thing. There's also physical and fire hazards from and I've included this picture in your workbook today because people ask me for this all the time, but clutter causes physical hazards and fire hazards. So at the most basic level, tripping over something or having things fall on your head, that's a hazard, right? But there's also cases where the clutter is actually creating an entrapment situation or encouraging a house fire to spread more quickly. So basically, this is a clutter image rating, and anything 4 and above would be a concern for tripping and for fire hazards. So this is a good assessment that you can use. These assessments are used, this original image rating actually came from hoarding disorder treatment guidebook, but this is also used by fire departments and stuff like that to make an assessment if they have to go into a home for a medical emergency or for a fire emergency. And then they would use a rating like this, a rating scale like this, if they wanted to have code enforcement come and deal with, force you to create a safer environment. So I think it's just helpful to have these, to actually have a clutter image rating. There are clutter image ratings. If you search on Google clutter image rating, you'll see there's one for bedrooms, there's one for kitchens, there's one for living rooms. There's all different ones. You can definitely use this also if you are dealing with a family member who is struggling with a lot of clutter, to say, you know what, like a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, a 9, like these are considered difficult conditions. If you have a medical emergency, EMS might have a hard time getting into your house. So we need to try and get, work from a 9 to an 8 to a 7 to a 6 to a 5 to a 4 to a 3, right? Try and get you down to that 1, 2, 3 level so that you are safe in your home. So this is the physical hazards and fire hazards looking at clutter. Okay, I'm going to go back and see again if there's any comments here. Clutter images. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Okay. So oh yeah, raccoons and attics. That's another good one. I mean, there can be like big rodents in animals. Bats also, not necessarily connected to clutter. It's just that clutter makes it much more difficult to deal with this when you have it. I learned about this rating system as a volunteer with the County Hoarding Task Force. Really interesting. I would love to talk to you more about that. I'm not sure what your name is because you're coming up as Facebook user, but I'm very curious about how different counties deal with what they call hoarding issues. I don't like that term hoarding, but that is how it's referred to, but it's different across the country. So if you wouldn't mind connecting with me after this live, I would love to hear about a little bit more about your county hoarding task force. Okay, back to the slides. Emotional hazards and isolation. This is really an interesting kind of another way, so we talked about how people often say that they are depressed or they're overwhelmed or anything. We have a lot of those issues that pop up in our groups all the time. So I came up with this little workflow so that I could visually describe how clutter contributes to the emotional overwhelm that you might experience every single day. So and this is at the most basic level, stress in our lives, like chronic stress, even if it's low grade stress, increases our fight or flight hormones, our cortisol levels. And when we increase our cortisol levels, it creates low grade chronic inflammation in our body. And then that inflammation can cause health and medical problems. It can cause all sorts of things, increased heart rate, increased blood pressure. Low grade any inflammation is the basis of disease and medical problems that we have. So when we have stress, we know that stress increases cortisol levels, creates low grade chronic inflammation, causes health and medical problems, right? Let's add clutter into the equation. When we add clutter into the equation, we can see how it complicates this entire thing, because when we are dealing with, any health or medical problems, oftentimes we start buying stuff and adding more things into our homes. Or because we're dealing with health and medical problems, we can't really deal with the clutter that we have. And then that added element creates an additional layer of stress, right? So not being able to deal with the overwhelm that we have or contributing more to it adds more stress, which increases our cortisol levels, which increases the inflammation, which increases the problems that we're having. And the cycle just repeats, right? So I really wanted to create a visual of how this negative feedback loop that we can get into with clutter that can be so difficult to break, especially when we are dealing with health issues. And sometimes it's our own health issues, but sometimes we are a caretaker and dealing with other, somebody else's health issues. And the cycle just continues and continues and continues. And it can get, very, very stressful very, very quickly. So just an important sort of negative feedback loop cycle to keep in mind here. All right, let me just go and see if there's any comments. Yes, break the cycle. Jim says low-grade inflammation has also been connected with depression, although there's still a question which one causes the other. And that's right. I mean, I think, it's like the chicken or the egg. Which came first, right? Is it the clutter or the depression? It doesn't really matter which one came first. They both complicate each other. Yes, absolutely. Amy has also an incredible story about medical conditions and clutter and inflammation, and how when people declutter and go through this whole process, we actually have really incredible health outcomes and I think this is, describes why. All right, let's go back in here. At this point, I really want to encourage you to be as ruthless as possible in creating a home that you love. Not just a home that is functional, but a home that you actually love. So, this is one of my clients that I worked with many years ago. We were working on her closet, and I was teaching her, it's not just about having an organized closet, it's about creating a space that you love so that every single interaction that you have with your home is a positive interaction. Our homes are the only places that we can come to get a reprieve from the world, right? It's the only place where we can go to relax and rejuvenate. And our home needs to be that place because our world is so incredibly stressful right now, right? And it's not getting less stressful. So we need to have a home where we can unwind and really just relax and recover and be ready for the next day. So as I was going through this lesson with my client, we emptied out her closet, and she's like, listen, I'm going to stop right now. I'm going to go to Home Depot. I'm going to grab some paint, and I am going to create this into a space that I absolutely love. And as you can see, she painted her closet, and it is a beautiful space. Now, she had been somebody who struggled with eating disorders for her whole entire life. And she said that having a closet that she loved, that truly was soothing to her soul, helped her tremendously with her eating disorders because she could go into that closet, feel good about herself right off the bat, find clothing that she loved. She only kept clothing that she absolutely loved. And it just was a space that was such a positive interaction with her home. And I actually love what she ended up doing with this closet. You deserve a home that nourishes your soul. I want to stop right here for a second, and I want you guys to think about this statement that I just made. Do you feel that you deserve a home that nourishes your soul? And this is kind of the point. I'm going to see what I have next here. Oh, okay, right. This is kind of the point where I really wanted to add more slides and create more content, but I feel like it just has to come from my heart. I don't think that any slide can do this justice. So I'm going to actually stop sharing this right now and go back to me. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing in the comments. Do you believe that you deserve a home that nourishes your soul? The more that I have worked with people, with just large groups of people, and the more that I have encouraged these sort of conversations, the more feedback I have gotten that, you know what, I don't actually feel like I deserve a nice home. I don't feel that I deserve a space that I love. I don't feel deserving of this, right? So I want everyone to take a deep breath, and I want you to just honor the place that you're at right now. Okay? Honor the place that you're at right now. And believe me when I tell you, you do deserve a home that you love, period. There is nobody who does not deserve a home that they love. You deserve a home that you love. And when you begin to empower yourself with the choices that you're going to make moving forward, you will have that home that you love. I think it's even bigger than this, though. I think that there has to be a layer to decluttering and this whole process where we're not waiting for the end to have that home and to feel that love and to feel that support from our environment. It's so important that you start to feel it right now. I think a lot of times, and this is just, this is not planned. This is what I've been wanting to like put onto slides, but I just haven't been able to get the right slides in the right order. So you guys are just getting, Jess here. um, so often we are waiting for something to happen before we are happy or before we can feel happiness, or we expect that when X happens, I am going to find joy in my life. I'm going to be able to relax and I am going to be happy, right? When my home is decluttered, I will be able to relax. When my home is decluttered, I will fix, the broken thing. When my home is decluttered, I will enjoy the project that I want to do next. When my home is decluttered, I will entertain again. When my home is decluttered, XYZ. You do not need to wait for that point, okay? And actually waiting for that point, there is no end point, right? There is no actual okay, now my life is exactly how I want it to be. And now I'm going to start, all of these things that I have been waiting to forever. What I want you to do, what I'm trying to say is it is so important that you start loving your home right now. It is so important that you give yourself the gift of joy right now. It is so important that you enjoy the journey, enjoy the experience, enjoy the adventure, because nobody knows what the future holds. Nobody can predict how things are going to go. And if you don't find a way to start loving your home, loving something, living right now, there is just no guarantee that you will ever get to it's the end point is not when it starts, right? It starts right now. Do not wait for it. Yes, choose happiness first and keep moving forward 100% every single day. So, I didn't really have any homework planned for today because I didn't have the end of my slideshow done. But what I would love for you to do for your homework, and this is a little bit different than what I posted into the Facebook group, but I would love for you to tell us what you love about your house. Tell us what you love about your life. Tell us what is going well, what is good right now. What is the positive that we can focus on as we continue moving forward? We get so caught up in this negative feedback loop. It's with our health, it's with our interactions with our home. We feel bad because we have clutter, and then we're angry and annoyed, and then we feel bad that we were angry and annoyed, and then we beat ourselves up. It is time for these cycles to break. We do not need to be living like this. You do not need to be living in a negative feedback loop all the time. It is time to make a different decision, a different choice, right? Okay. That is like really what I wanted to share with you today. I also have been kind of on the fence about this next point, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there because again, I'm not fully prepared for it, but that's okay. It is time to break the cycle. It's time to break the cycle. Yes. So I am going to offer you guys an early invitation to join me in Clutter Boss Academy. I don't have my sales page fully done yet. because I wasn't going to do this until Monday. So I thought I had a couple more days. But this boot camp has been so inspiring. I have seen everyone here standing up and making different choices for themselves. And so I am going to open enrollment for CBA right now at the price that is listed on my sales page, which is the last price that we had. The price I planned on increasing the price on Monday and then opening enrollment then. I am going to keep the price right now as it is until Monday, as I'm still working on the sales page and all of that stuff. But basically, what I want to say to you is if you are ready for a new choice, if you are ready for a change, then I am ready to work with you. This is what we do moving forward in Clutter Boss Academy. We support you every step of the way for the next year that you work with us. We invest in you and you invest in yourself. We never learned how to live in 2021 because the world that we live in right now has never looked like it does now. We would think nothing of investing in education, right? Like if I want to learn a new skill, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to my community college and look at their adult continuing ed programs, right? But for some reason, when it comes to investing in ourselves through coaches, through community support, through this type of unconventional learning, we say, oh no, I can't do it. Like that's too expensive. It's too much. It's, we have all of these reasons why we cannot do it. And if you want to make a different change, a different choice, if you are ready to actually invest in something that is going to truly change your life, truly give you skills that you need for right now, for 2021, 2022, for living and conquering the world that we live in, then Clutter Boss Academy is the spot for you. It's clutterbossacademy.com. You can see it's a little bit under construction. I have not updated everything. The way that it works is you join Clutter Boss Academy for a year. We are going to start you in a program called Jumpstart. So before you actually go into Clutter Boss Academy, you are going to be in Jumpstart for 2 to 6 weeks. And in Jumpstart, we've been kind of like tweaking this for the last couple of enrollments. So this is the latest iteration, because nothing that I do stays the same, right? It's like a constant, how can we make this better? So you're going to start in Jumpstart. In Jumpstart, you are going to get the foundational skills like down pat, like what you actually need to know. And for you, right? All the foundational stuff. We're going to work more closely with you in Jumpstart, really understand who you are, where you're at, and what your next step needs to be. Once we have a plan in place, once you have watched the lessons, worked with our coaches, then we're going to transition you into Clutter Boss Academy, because Clutter Boss Academy is just a very big program. So we really want to make this a smooth transition. You're going to go into Clutter Boss Academy with a plan, right? So we're going to identify the resources that you need, make sure that you know where to go next, because coming into Clutter Boss Academy can be a little overwhelming. That's some of the feedback that we have had, since then. So since we've started, right? So we're adjusting and adjusting all the time. Inside of Clutter Boss Academy, I have a team of coaches that run coaching calls every single day. So in a typical week, there's around 12 coaching calls. We have a nutrition coach. We have a parenting coach. We have a consistency coach. We have an accountability coach. We have a mindset coach. We have clutter coaches. We have coaches to support whatever spot you're on your journey. So it's like one-stop shopping for the resources that you need. And if we don't have the exact resource that you need, we will find that resource and bring it in. I had a choice when I started launching programs. I could either do a program that was okay and that I just sold and that was, whatever, or I could pour my heart and soul into creating the best program that I possibly could. And that was the choice that I made. Clutter Boss Academy is unlike anything else that is out there, period. I believe that all of the clutter in our lives is connected. I believe that if we are going to tackle the clutter in our homes, we need support around every single area of our life. And the more that I have been doing this, the more that I have been working with this program, expanding this program, the more that I realize that we just need support right now for this world. And it's not even necessarily about the clutter. I mean, we declutter, but we deal with all the clutter. We just don't have support for living like we do today. It's never been done before. We have information coming in all the time. Raising children is complicated. Dealing with our parents is it's complicated. It's never been like it is right now. We need to be empowered to make decisions, empowered to know the next step, empowered to say, I am going to do this. And I'm going to do it this way because this is the right way for me to do it right now. And that empowerment is what you get. That is what you are buying when you join Clutter Boss Academy. You will be empowered over every single area of your life. There is no way to not succeed in this framework because we are doing this. We are driven by this mission. Everybody who is there because it's so incredible to see these transformations happen. Okay, I am. Yes, grief and loss support is included. So we have a psychotherapist who, oh, sorry, I forgot about Megan. Actually, my sister is a psychotherapist and she works with Clutter Boss Academy. She is the person who deals with like the grief and loss questions. So she has a call every other week and she takes questions that are pre-submitted to her. Yes, grief and loss support is included. And honestly, if we need to up the support in any area, if you feel like that is not enough, we find more resources to support you. That's the whole way that Clutter Boss Academy works. Clutter foundations. Can you share how? Mary, I'm sorry. So, Clutter foundations. Okay, I'm getting confused by the comments here. Mary, can I share how what? I'll go back to your question. Share how? Oh, yes, Shopaholics, 100%. We have a ton of resources in there for shopping addiction, Shopaholics, all of that stuff. In fact, Colleen, who was one of our coaches, overcame shopping addiction. She has a lot of resources that have worked really well for her. Megan, our psychotherapist, also talks about shopping addiction. And Allison, our mindset coach, also answers questions on like shopping addiction, shopaholics. There's a whole entire module, actually. Okay, when you join Clutter Boss Academy, you get the Clutter Boss at Home Self-Study Program. Module 3 is 100% about stuff and shopping. So there's piles and piles of resources. I'm going to see if I can just pull it up here real quickly. There's piles of resources for dealing with stuff and shopping. I mean, right. How could you create a decluttering program that doesn't address that? Here, stuff and shopping. So, I mean, it's just like we have so many resources that we have pulled together, even things that you can print out and put into your wallet so that you can, make different choices when you're buying stuff. The self-study program is $9.97. So Clutter Boss Academy and you have lifetime access to everything. Clutter Boss Academy includes a self-study program and access to all the coaches. It is a year long and it is a little bit under $4,000 for the entire year. Let's see. Do you get this? Yes. When you join Clutter Boss Academy or when you buy the entire self-study program, you get this workbook. This workbook has 50 video lessons that go with it. So you get the membership site, you get the video lessons, you get the workbook. Unless you don't want the workbook, you could always, if you want just a digital copy, we can send that to you. But most people want the workbook. In the academy, the calls are group calls. But okay, so let me talk about that for a second. That's a good question, Heather. The calls in Clutter Boss Academy are group calls. There is always an opportunity to ask a question on a call. A lot of people join the calls just to listen in because hearing other people's experiences is so, it can help you so much, right? So even if somebody is dealing with something that does not resonate with your, like you don't have the same scenario in your life, the advice that is given is often relevant to something else that's going on in your life. So there's a lot of people who just listen into the calls because it's so interesting and it's so informative, and it can help you move forward so much just from hearing what other people are going through. You can join CBA in the future if you cannot afford it now. Yes, I don't now. People always often ask, like, when is the next enrollment? The truth is, I don't know. It depends, like, because we support the group that we have, at any given moment. We don't have enrollment on a schedule or a calendar. Again, the way that I run this business is based on feedback and feelings, right? What is going well? What can I improve? Are we ready for more people? Can we support another big group? How are we going to do that? Do I need to increase the coaches? Do I need to increase? Like, what do I need to do to make this work? So I cannot commit to like a timeline for enrollment because that would just be shortchanging the people who are already committed to the process. So yeah, it will open again. I just don't know exactly when. That said, if you need help with a payment plan, so this is the other thing, I will do basically anything I can to help you afford Clutter Boss Academy. Just reach out to me. I can change up payment plans. I can extend payment plans. If you are ready to invest in yourself, if you are ready to make this commitment, I am ready to do whatever I can to support that. That's it. I mean, if you're ready, I'm ready, right? I will do whatever I can in my power to support you joining this group. If we can make it happen, I will make it happen, because there has never been a better time to start, right? Like, don't wait. If we can make it happen, let's make it happen. This goes all back to our time lesson. We're never going to get this time back ever again. And the second that you join, you also, I know this is a little ironic, but you also start saving money because everything we teach is about, at the end of the day, how to save money, how to make mindful purchases. We have a lot of resources also around financial stuff, like how to pay down your debt, how to compound the amount that you're saving, how to compound the amount that you're paying off. So Clutter Bosses are saving. I say my average statistic is that a Clutter Boss saves $100 a week right off the bat. Of course, the number is, there's a huge range, but Clutter Bosses are saving tons and tons and tons of money. And I am sure that there are Clutter Bosses in here that can tell you how much money they are saving. Yes. Okay. So Facebook user who says, I spend $3,000 per year on my kids' extracurricular activities. Moms are worth it too. Moms are worth it. The only way for you to show up as the best version of yourself is for you to be supported also, right? I mean, it's like, as a mom, I know if I don't feel supported, then I am just not a great mom. I need to fill my cup before I can, and I hate that saying, but it's so true. Before I can be available to other people, I need to be available to myself first and foremost. Oh, yeah. Okay. So let me see. Dana's saying, can I share the slide or screenshot that shows how much CBA is actually worth so people understand that they're getting a good deal? Yeah. Okay. So I will share in the group. I do have like a little, I could probably find it quickly, but I calculated this just last night. So if you were to hire a single coach that's in CBA and work with them for a year, or if you were to hire all of the coaches that are in CBA and work with them for the year, you would pay $72,000 in coaching. Okay, so in coaching alone, I mean, in coaching alone, you are getting there's, that's where it is right there. You would pay $72,000 in coaching alone. If you were to hire a professional organizer to come into your house one-on-one, you're paying between $50 and $125 an hour, depending on where you live. We also will work with you like in that capacity. So if you have a room and you're not sure how to set it up, you make a video of it and we will help you design and decorate a new layout, all of it like done. There's so many things that we do in CBA. It's hard to actually put a value on it, but just in coaching alone, I can put a value on that. It's $72,000 worth of coaching in 1 year. Right now, okay, so the enrollment, Nancy, this is kind of a funny question because nobody ever leaves. So what happens in Clutter Boss Academy after a year is that you have the option of becoming a lifer. As a lifer, you just go onto like a monthly fee. It is right now it's $37. It's going up to $49. Nobody leaves, right? So we have a lot of people who have been in there for more than their year, and they just stay on as a lifer because they want to continue to provide that support and be a part of the community. So nobody leaves, almost nobody leaves. And a lot of Clutter Bosses are lifers. We have about 75 active members in Clutter Boss Academy right now. On average, on our calls, we have around 20 people, give or take, on all of the calls. Every single call is recorded and added to your membership site. So if you miss a call, it's not a big deal. It's in your membership site. What is $39? I don't know. Oh, hey, Amber, can you share clutterbossacademy.com instead of clutterboss.com? Because there's some of our old stuff is on Clutterboss there. Lifers pay a monthly fee. It right now it's $37. It's going up to $49, but that's, by the time you're there, you've saved so much money. You can't imagine not being a part of the community, really. It's just such a unique group. And it's the women, and we always welcome men, but the women who are in Clutter Boss Academy, it's funny because it's all different people from all different walks of life from all over the country, people who you would never, ever meet or have your paths cross if it weren't for Clutter Boss Academy. And then it's like, all of a sudden you have amazing friends from around the country who have their life does not mimic your life at all, right? It's like so excited. Cheryl, if you want to join right now, I will grandfather you into the $37. Yes, join today. I will grandfather you in to the $37. Yes, if there are men listening, join us, please. We would love to have a male representative in the group. 100%. Yeah, clutterbossacademy.com is where the information is. Let's see. What other questions? We also have tons of interviews that we've done with Clutter Bosses. We can post a link to the playlist on YouTube. Listen to their words. I mean, listen to what they have to say. If you're ready for change, we're ready for you. Period. We're ready to work with you and make your dreams come true. Oop, there's the construction that I was talking about. Yep, I agree. Okay. If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. And that's why I also have the Clutter Foundations group. Sorry for the noise there. This is when it becomes complicated working from home and having construction going on in your house. The person who says I might have to wait for payday, can I grandfather in? Just message me, okay? Just go. Yes, the calendar is sent out every month. Clutterbossacademy.com. If you don't have the money, I understand. You don't have the money. That's why there is the Clutter Foundations group, which is a beautiful community. There is one coaching call a week in there with me. But that community the community supports the community. Which is great. I mean, and that's why I've really tried to create that affordable option also, because I get that not everybody has the money for Clutter Boss Academy. I just want to say, I said this yesterday, I want to share it again. What you get when you purchase any of my programs, the value is tremendously more than what you pay. And that's why I do this boot camp, where you can actually see the amount of value that I would provide in a free boot camp. The amount of value that is provided in a $27 program is tremendous. The amount of value that is provided in a $4,000 program is tremendous. I mean, that is what I believe in. I believe in giving you every pennies worth that you are paying, right? Because the way that what happens then is you change so dramatically, your life shifts so much, you become so empowered and impassioned about this whole movement to free people from the burden of clutter. And it's like that butterfly effect. It just spreads and spreads and spreads and spreads. And this is how we are affecting positive change in the world, which is really the big mission here. How can we help people get out from under the burden of clutter, live their best lives, positively impact their family and their communities, and just overall this is the right thing to be doing, to make this so empowering that it changes lives. That's it. The month schedule. We have a schedule of calls. We're actually going to post the schedule. So Gina is going to post the schedule. Sam, I agree. You can't talk about, I mean, in the beginning, you have to talk about the value in monetary terms, but it helps you live your best life. That's it. And we only have this one life to live. So there are a lot of clutter bosses that are in boot camp, and for what it's worth, everyone who is here of their own accord because they so believe in the value of this program and they so want you to be a part of our family. Linda, send me a private message on Facebook, or you can contact me, jess@prioritizeyoursanity.com. They are Zoom events, but they're recorded in a membership site. So our calls are on Zoom, and then they are recorded into a membership site. Okay. I want to wrap up with this. Honestly, if you continue on or not, that is going to come down to your own personal circumstances. Whatever you choose to do moving forward, please believe in yourself and give yourself the opportunity to have a home that is perfect for you, that inspires you, that supports you. You are worth it. Do not stop moving forward on this journey, whatever that looks like for you. You have seen this week how little tiny changes can make a tremendous difference every day. You have seen this week how having a community to support you is so critical to our success. You have seen that the decluttering and organization industry is complete BS, and now you are smarter than that. Give yourself the gift of making choices for you. You are worth it. That is what I want to leave you with at the end of this last day lesson. We have a Q&A tomorrow on Zoom. We have our transformation celebration on Monday. We have Clutter Coach on Call sessions still today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. There's so much opportunity to continue to have tremendous success in this free group, right? So use this, get every ounce of value out of this. And then if you choose to move on with me and my team, we will be so honored to work with you. So incredibly honored. And if you choose not to, we are so honored that you gave us your time this week and that you are investing in yourself, whatever that looks like. Please stay connected with us. All right. Thank you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow for our live Q&A in the Zoom room. We have expanded our Zoom account so we can have a lot of people in there. So it's not going to be live streaming into the group. You're going to have to click on the link. We're going to post it all over the place. Do not worry. Join the Zoom call at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. It'll be so fun to actually talk back and forth. Like, I'm actually so done with these, like, where I can't communicate with you. I need to talk to you. So I will see you tomorrow in the Zoom room. And then the same thing on Monday for our transformation celebration. Have an awesome rest of the day, you guys. And thank you. Thank you for everything. I love you guys too.